Painkiller Ghosts, Chapter 21, Noses Are for Breaking. Now it's now, a few weeks later, and this is how it is. Stan Thimble is done with his codeine prescription for his broken nose. He chewed his last two with a handful of raisins and peanuts an hour ago. It seemed to Stan that his nose has been broken more than not over the past 40-some years. Many of the broken noses were from bar fights or fights at drinking parties. Some were due to a few youthful games of touch football, field hockey, or rugby. And there were, of course, the car crashes. There were always car crashes. But more or less, he's come out unscathed, except for the habitually smashed nose. His left nostril always bleeds longer than the right one, and it always starts bleeding first. The first car crash was when Stan was sober, more or less, and a drunk driver took a turn and went headfirst into Stan's car. Stan walked away, and the other driver went through the windshield. The second car crash, was when Stan was drunk, more or less, and a 15-year-old kid with no license and in his parents' car veered the same way on the same curve in the same place 3 years later, and once again, Stan's left nostril bled a lot longer than the right one, and the kid never walked again. Bent, busted, broken, and the left side always bleeds longer. He wanted to hit Suzanne, but he also wanted her again. Imagine, he reasoned to himself, doing that to someone who can have her own son crush in his nose. It's her fault. In his head it is. It's Suzanne's Exler's fault that his nose is broken and the pain pills are gone and his Cobra plan is expensive and he hates looking for a job and he got fired because of her. Why, what he'd give to do her again on the kitchen counter, and this time to slap her afterwards, to slap her in the face hard. What was the big deal? They were just pictures. He turns the volume on the television off, then on, then back off, keeping the image on the screen. He gets up from his chair, steps on the newspaper, and walks outside. He thinks he'd rather have a bandaged nose now than in summer, with the women jogging by and virtually nothing. He'd rather have a busted nose now, with scarves are almost out of the closet, and when people are more worried about the leaves on the ground than their neighbor with a messed up nose who isn't going to work anymore. And he thinks about Suzanne Exler, and he lies aloud. I don't dream about you. Then he thinks, it already feels good.